sore joints, or dry skin? Try All Balm. Our CBD topicals are fast absorbing, non-greasy, and smell amazing. Now available at 2U Wines in South Euclid. Sip, shop, and feel better. Natural.
Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Pull-Up Experience. It feels so good to be, back.
It's back.
Getting
We
into
back.
the game. We are back. Summer is over, as much as I don't want to admit it, but it's over. Okay? But we are just beginning. So you guys are in for another good treat. And of course, your average agent, your regular schmegula, your girl Britt. But more importantly than this is that we have a fabulous guest, the innovative, creative, serial entrepreneur. The list goes on and on the way this man has really been getting out here, getting us healthy, and just really showing that we are really doing it out here in these streets. Okay?
Thank you.
Or should I say in these stores? Okay, so we have Mr. Ethan Holmes. Welcome to the Pull-Up Experience.
Appreciate it. Thank you both for
Well,
having me.
thank you, sir. Thank you so
we
much.
can't wait to dive into your journey. We got to know how this all began.
Yes.
Again, our hope is that we inspire and motivate others to want to follow in the footsteps and be able to, step out on faith.
Of course, definitely.
Yeah,
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely.
So, question, sir. If you had to represent a hood of Cleveland, what part of Cleveland you representing?
I would say Shaker, I don't know.
Come on.
I'm super proud. I don't even know if that's Cleveland, the suburbs of Cleveland, but
It is.
We'll take,
I grew up in Shaker, went to Shaker Heights High School, graduated, so proud Raider,
So, time out, man. What is in the water in Shaker?
Killing it.
It really is.
It's the best of both worlds. It's not. It's diverse. It's a melting pot. That's Cleveland in general. But you get resources, but you also get a little bit of struggle. It kind of bring you back to reality. Can't have too much of an ego, and I think that's just Northeast Ohio in general.
That's good.
Shaker is good for me.
So, what, they teach entrepreneurship in school or something? Y'all had to, because you were like I want to say maybe sixth person from Shaker who was an entrepreneur.
I didn't learn it in school, but there was some resources. There was things like the Shaker Launch House, which is actually still there. It's on Lee Road, and I remember leaving high school as a student just to go there after school, just to be able to be around entrepreneurs. And it's like a co-working space where they give education, resources, and you can have your own little office. So I think that was my early form, or exposure to entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
All right.
Hit that for Shaker one time. So, okay, let me ask you this. With that being said, entrepreneurship always something that you always were gravitated to, or is something that you eventually stumbled upon?
That's a good question. I think it was something I was always gravitated towards. It started off with a neighborhood friend of mine. We would do landscaping around the neighborhood. He had some, equipment, and so from there, that just went to making flyers, putting them on the doors at Huntington Bank before the internet was a big thing, and they just gave me that exposure. Okay, I can make money from this. I could BYOB, be my own boss, and so I think that kind of just led me to choosing entrepreneurship, reading entrepreneur magazines, seeing people that look like me. I said, hey, I think owning something is important. I think I think what really clicked for me is I saw everybody that had wealth, power in this country who was successful, they owned something. You know what I mean? So I said, why don't I do the same thing? Why don't I put that work in? So
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a good point for sure. So, we journeyed through high school. We've been doing our side hustles and been learning without realizing that we were learning business basics, really. You know what I mean? And really getting getting your gears started. So, so we go off to college, I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
Okay, so tell us
Yep.
about the college life
Definitely.
and how you continue to
That's a
soar.
great question. So, it really started at Holmes as a 15-year-old at Shaker, built the foundation, but really didn't have anything. Went to a school called Hiram College here in Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Hiram.
Shout out Hiram. And that was where I really was able to launch the company. I was able to use a kitchen on campus. And I always tell people they actually didn't allow me to use the kitchen. So I would actually, on the weekends when nobody's around, would make a little applesauce, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Keep it in my dorm, almost like I was pushing something else. And then have my people on campus selling it for me and recoup the money. But there was no stores at that time. There was no commercial kitchen. It was very much just kind of learning the process. But while I was there, that kind of led me to feel confident. I was able to win business competitions. And then eventually find a kitchen here in Cleveland called the Central Kitchen. Everybody check them out. that allowed me to actually rent a space, learn education, how to make a product legally, professionally, and the rest was history. So yeah.
So wait, let's go back because what inspired you to do applesauce? Because I ain't gonna lie to you.
We kind of skipped the whole
Right,
story.
no. Because people want to do baked goods. They want to do. You know, some people want to make steaks. You said applesauce.
Applesauce, great point. Yeah, so I always tell people this. At first, I thought I was going to do chocolate. You know, I was a 15-year-old, and I saw this pink chocolate bar being sold by the basketball team, and it was being sold. Everybody was buying it. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? A pink chocolate bar.
I'm trying to remember it.
It's pink and green.
The infamous ones that was in the box.
Mallory.
Oh, okay.
So Mally's chocolate.
Okay.
So yeah, here in Cleveland, but they sell like hotcakes, and I said, well, this got to be easy enough. Let me learn how to make chocolate. I went on YouTube, got some chocolate bar modes. Shout out to my dad for buying those chocolate bar modes.
Shout out to your dad.
Shout out to Dad.
He encouraged.
Right, he
That's
encouraged me.
right.
He never was there, doing it, but he was like, all right, Ethan, you want to do this? And let's try it out. And at that point, I made the chocolate. I called them Nom Nom bars, like Cookie Monster, kind of like Nom Nom Nom. I went on and put on one of my dad's dress shirts, a tie, this big old dress shirt, went to school in Shaker. It said $5 Nom Nom bars in the cafeteria. And I thought I was going to be a millionaire. I always tell people I thought I was going to be the next Willy Wonka of Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
I found out pretty quickly that was my first failure. Everybody was like, yo, bro, your chocolate tastes like dirt. I'm not giving you my last $5. I'm a student, so you need to go and try again. Go back to your mom's kitchen. And at that point, I felt pretty discouraged. I said, I don't know if this is for me. Maybe I'll just focus on sports, girls, being a kid, And I saw a jar of applesauce in my mom's kitchen. And I think that was a monumental moment for me where I'm feeling discouraged and I'm thinking applesauce. It's a product that everyone eats, but it's always made the same. How about I try that? And then I went to my grandfather. Shout out to grandfather. He's 92 years old, still kicking. Elmer Buford, that's his name, and he showed me actually how to make applesauce, and the rest was history. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's in the family. So
I'll even say he's just lived with us. He's a retired post office worker and could make almost any food from scratch.
Okay.
So I make it very clear, applesauce was not in our family, wasn't a staple, wasn't something I ate every day. And he showed me how to make it, and I said, okay, let me go spend a year in my mom's kitchen making my own recipe.
come on.
And so it really was, he passed that torch to me, and then I had to figure it out from there. And just one quick thing, we use Golden Delicious apples, which is the best apples for making sauces or baking. We also use a Bartlett pear, which adds the sweetness to the product. We add no sugar, and then we cook everything down in apple cider.
Come on now. You're getting the science to it all.
And I learned all that in my mom's kitchen. Again, from trying and failing to, hey, what you think about this? It's too sweet, Ethan. And that really led me to where we are now. And we're now making this in Chile and South America with the same recipe.
Come on now.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Don't hurt him with the information now.
Because look, so I'm a manager in the grocery store, right? And I see ambrosia, I see the granny smell, I see all that. I see the different apple. I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm like, apple's apple, whatnot.
Apple's
But
apple, right.
but the fact that different apples bake different, I never knew that.
Yeah, exactly. So Golden Delicious, the yellower one, usually September, August. It's really great as it's not too tart, but those are the best ones. So it's kind of our base with our product.
Come on,
Definitely. Thank you.
schooling us.
Yes.
We could talk about apples for a long time if we want to do that. We could go off a little too much, but
So okay, so I want to talk about college is a good journey. College, so we know branding and marketing is a very important component of business. How did you start working on that while also making a product? Because one thing to make the product, another to work on the business of the marketing, the promotion. Like
great point. So when I first had the recipe, this was even before college, I had this product. I knew that I wanted to be mouth-watering. I played with a lot of different names. Holmes is my last name, and so I said, what word kind of describes it? Mouth-watering. I'm a kid. And I reached out to graphic designers because I knew I needed visuals. I needed to be able to show how mouth-watering the product was. And via Google, reach out to about 5 different people. Hey, I'm Ethan. I'm from Cleveland. I'm 15. I made this applesauce. Can you help me with a logo, packaging? And out of the 5, only 1 got back to me. Shout out to Ron Hansen out of Washington State. Shout out Ron. And Ron said, I like the fact that you're young. You're trying to do something. I will invest in you and make your logo, your branding all for free. And that really set the foundation.
Let that be a lesson, kids.
Right, exactly. And this is the early logo, kind of showed on my arm. You guys probably can't see
Come on,
that.
man. My man.
Right.
You about that?
Dedication.
Got you.
Okay, so you can see the early logo. We have an
Yes,
apple.
I love that.
Very simple. But Ron did this design when I was 15. We then took it. Now you can see, fast forward, we've done a rebrand about 2 years ago. So Yeah, so shout out to Ryan. And my really story behind that, if you want to do something, reach out to people. You want to
Come
be
on now.
a nurse, reach out to nurses, doctors, whatever.
Yeah.
People will invest in you. The four of them, they didn't even respond. But one, he said, I'll do all your logos, your branding, your packaging for free. And I remember I was a 16-year-old walking around with a business card, looked very professional, but I had no product. I had no stores. But he gave me that leg up.
Come on now.
And he allowed people to see a visual. It wasn't just some black dude making applesauce.
Come on now.
He had something, you know. So
You got something to share.
definitely.
That is crazy.
That's good.
And I think it really teaches those that are like watching and listening to that. And my mother always told me this as a girl, that the worst they can say is no. You know what I mean? And you never know unless you actually try. And for you, it was stepping out on faith and be like, you know what? I'm gonna shoot my shot, and eventually you gonna make a shot. You know what I mean?
There you go. That's important. That's kind of, I think Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's my
There you
favorite
go,
quote.
there you go.
All right, Ethan.
And
Don't get me
that's
started.
a philosophy or a testimony to kind of how I've been able to build a business.
Yeah.
Just shooting or will you try this? Will you buy it until I get a yes or a no, and then we go back to try to get a yes.
Come on
So,
now.
yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
All right.
Excellent.
So
Oh, go ahead.
no, because listen, I got so many questions in here. Because this is fascinating. Because you done, because a lot of people don't understand. You put the work in. It's like Chris Rock said. He said, like if your car is on the side of the road, if you sit in the car, no one's gonna help you push it. But if you're pushing your car, more people are more inclined to help you push it, right?
True.
And the same thing with business. So my question to you is, what was the first success you said this is no longer a hobby, it's a business?
That's a great point. I'd say Heinen's. Heinen's was a big one for me. There's a story there. I was at college. I was making applesauce. Eventually, it got to like a commercial kitchen, but still it was very small. I'm talking $500 a month in volume. And I said, I want to get in Heinen's. So I kind of created a Christmas list of places, Heinen's, Giant Eagle, found their corporate office number, memorized it to this day, 216-475-2300.
Come on now.
Right. We're talking about 2014, y'all. That's how long I've been. And I would call them every 3-4 days saying, hey, I'm Ethan. I got this applesauce. Eventually, they got me through to a guy named Will. Will's like, drop off some product in Warrensville Heights. At this point, I'm a sophomore in college. I'm making sandwiches at the subway station. I have this applesauce dream. And I remember going to my job, walking down the hill, and I got a call. And this was probably within 6 months of me dropping off that applesauce. And Will said, and I see the number was 475-2300.
You seen the number?
I knew it was. Oh, Heinen's is calling me. They never call me. So, hey, this is Will. I got your applesauce. I finally opened it up. We loved it. Can you get us together about 3,000 jars? We want to put you in 23 locations, Ohio and Illinois for Heinen's. And for me, I remember walking towards my job and like, let me go back up to my dorm because I need to go figure this out. This is like more important than making this $200 from this shift. I might make a few thousand, and now I finally have some credibility.
Come on now.
And so, just to sum it up, that was a learning experiment. How do we make this order? How do we finance it? I got $20 in my bank account. So I learned a thing called terms, TERMS, where you could go to an Apple company, you could go to a packaging company and say, I have this order from Heinen's, check it out, it's for a few thousand, will you give me the items up front for free? I had no credit, I was just a kid, or a young kid, so they said, hey, Ethan, here's the apples, here's the bottles, here's the labels, pay us in 30, 45 days once it's completed.
Come on now.
Definitely.
You are schooling. I never knew
So
that.
I guess we all know it as credit terms, but in this case, it was, I had no credit. It was just based on this guy's got credibility with Heinen's, good faith. There you go. And sum it up to finish the story. Then I had my mom in there, my grandmother,
Everybody's
cousins
in
was in
Family
there,
affair.
just together washing apples because I never knew how am I gonna make 3,000 units in 2-3 weeks, but we did it. So
Wow. Because how many units were you making before you got that
probably
game-changing call?
200 units at most, so just very small. So now we had to, more than double that quantity, but it got easier and easier over time. We learned things, so it's a testimony. I need to hit it one time.
Yeah, come on, yes. I love this, but I love it because like I need y'all to hear that because just with that one part is that you could have got overwhelmed. You could have been like, I can't fit this order. Let me stop before I get ahead of myself. But you rose to the occasion, man.
Correct, exactly. And I don't see it that way. I see it as just doing what I was, led to do, my passion. But I appreciate that. It was definitely something that was fun, I think, at that time. And I have content to look at back on it. Videos, maybe we can do some B-roll.
Oh, wow.
But just, I'm talking 10, 12 family members in there, you know.
Just getting it.
So shout out to grandma.
Come
shout
on
out
now.
to my mother, my dad, so my brother. I appreciate y'all. So.
That's what's up, man. 'Cause I've heard people tell stories. Man, I had an opportunity to speak here, but I just couldn't take it because it was too many people
too
there.
much, right.
Like what?
And I think that's the fun part about being young and having that passion. There's no fear. There's nothing stopping
No.
you. So if you have a dream, do it while you're young. Do it today. Don't come up with excuses for why you can't do it.
Come on now.
Timeline shouldn't
Ooh,
stop.
you are a living testimony from
Appreciate it.
you stepping out on faith and asking for the marketing and everything and got it for free.
Yeah, thank you.
And then now you just your persistence of calling and not knowing if you would get a call back to and not fearing that you were gonna, how you gonna make these 3,000. So you were made for this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And
For sure.
my last quote I'll say for y'all, maybe I have a few more, but closed mouths do not get fed.
Come on now.
There you go.
Ethan,
So I think
I'm gonna give you this now because I'm keep hitting it.
But you gotta speak up if you want what you want. So, what you need, so. Awesome.
So let me ask you this, okay? And I feel like if people are hearing it, they're probably like it's easy. Tell us about the misconceptions people have about creating a product because quality control comes in that. Ingredients, they gotta understand the not the science, but like the stuff that goes into making a product. They think just make applesauce and that's it, but it's more to that.
Whole lot more. Right.
Just maybe I'm tripping.
No. So there's a whole lot of components, especially when you're making food or beverage. We're talking dealing with the FDA. In my case, the Ohio Department of
I'm
Agriculture.
sorry, Ethan.
Yeah.
She was like, when you said FDA, she was like, "What is that?" So they know, for people know.
So yeah, the Federal
away with
Drug,
this,
Food Administration (FDA). So they manage food, beverage all throughout the United States. On the local level, you have the ODA, Ohio Department of Agriculture. They could be your best friends if you want to start a product. For example, if you have a label, you made it on Canva or whatever, they'll look at it and say, you need this here, you need nutrition facts, you need a barcode, you don't have your address on here, So they really helped me in the early stages to make sure my packaging was legal and I wasn't doing anything to make anybody sick. They came into my kitchen early on and said, this is, as long as you do it this way, you'll be safe. So I think in the beginning, go to people who know more than you and have them lead. Don't go on Google and think you know it all. Go to experts.
Yeah.
I also had to, I think to an important point, I made 3,000 jars, but how do I know all those are going to be fresh? That everybody, you know what I mean? How do I know that one isn't going to have leaking applesauce on it or one isn't going to spoil? So I think quality control, to your point, and making sure everything you make is the same every single time. It tastes the same as the same. So that's a big one. Learning how to scale up your recipe from your mom's kitchen or your own kitchen to these large kettles to that, how do you do
That's
that?
a good point.
Lost thousands of dollars doing that, because the formula doesn't just translate over. You can't just say, well, I'm making 10 times more applesauce.
Right, so just throw it
Do
all
it.
in.
Wow.
I tried that and I realized then it came out like soup. And I said, okay, so maybe we should use a little less liquid when we scale up. And so those are some of the learning, I think, things that you have to go through.
For sure. And those stick with you.
I was gonna say, with that being said, what were some lessons that you, if you had to do it all over again, you had to teach, let's say, a younger person who's creating products right now. What are some of the lessons that you, not saying hurt, but the lessons that were the ones that stick with you that you wish you learned early on?
That's a good point. So I'll even think of something I've told one of my mentees. Shout out to Jam by Josh. Got to have him come out. He's
Okay.
a young
Come through.
15-year-old. Just turned 16 years old actually today.
Wow.
From Solon.
Shout out to him,
And
man.
he's in about 40, 50 stores with his own jam. Shout out to, I mean, he is doing a great job. I'm 16 years old. Isn't that crazy? So, all doing it themselves. No family support, just doing it. So, really. But the point is, I'd say lessons I've taught him is just to be, trying to think. You're always marketing yourself. You're always telling your story. That's going to be your best selling point. There's never even a failure is a learning moment. It's a marketing moment. Use that as a way to sell more jams. So I think that's kind of just my advice.
That's
just
good.
Keep learning.
That's good.
Okay, all right. So, when it comes to the business aspect of it, because eventually you realize I got something here, and like you said, through trial and error, whether it was realized you couldn't throw all the ingredients in the pot, what were also some like business fundamentals that you learned, or maybe that a mentor maybe helped you along the way to?
I would say just learn how to balance a checkbook. I was young, so I didn't have established credit, didn't know how to manage money. So understanding to not dip into business and personal, keeping them separate. You have a business bank account, then you have a personal checking account. I was doing a lot of my own bookkeeping, which is managing your finances, invoicing, transactions. and it wasn't really going well. Eventually, I learned of this place or this platform called QuickBooks.
Yeah.
So shout out to my cousin Sam, who works for Huntington Bank. Shout out to Sam because or Samuel, right? He showed me really just how to look at business in a different lens. You need bookkeeping. You need to be able to have a tax return in order to get financing. You need to be able to have good books in general and ledgers. So I think that taught me a lot. And working with investors, we've been blessed to raise a little over $1 million for this product. And I'm telling you, the first time I ever did that, I was sitting in a boardroom with, 5, 6 people, all business people, and they're just like, all right, Ethan, tell us about the business, tell us what you got going. And those moments taught me a lot. It taught me a whole lot. It was like a crash course on how to embarrass yourself, but then, because I'm asking kind of dumb questions because I don't know any of this. But that led me to learn how to talk about it and how to get better and more well-versed. So I said, don't be scared to put yourself out there and always chase for opportunities.
Okay.
That's good.
I got so many things that's going through my mind now because when you were doing this, social media really wasn't as huge as it is in today's world. So how did you get it marketed, where it could reach more people?
I would say Facebook was a big one at the time, and I was really about telling my story. So I would literally say, hey, we're in the kitchen today. We're about to make this amount of jars. I would do paragraphs telling, it's been a long week and this or that, and it got people invested in it. That really allowed us to build a strong platform of followers. But then I took it a step further. I did a Christmas list of every single news station around Northeast Ohio. I called
Christmas list.
Hey, listen, I'm about to say, I like that.
I called Fox 8, I called Channel 3, and eventually Fox 8, they said, hey, you're 15 years old, you're from Cleveland, you make applesauce? That sounds pretty cool. How about you come out this week? And so I went out there one morning and was able to go on the news, and that led to a lot of kind of exposure. Hey, we saw you on the news. So I think just looking for those PR opportunities, chasing them, reaching out to journalists, anything I could to kind of get the brand out in the beginning. For sure. So,
that's good.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So let me ask you this. So you're in one retailer, right? And I'm guessing the business is scaling up. And we hear about you. $1 million, by the way. Can we hit that one more time for that, by the way? Was there a point in your journey where you were just like, I've done it, or have you hit that point, or you haven't hit that point, or what do you feel like is the point where you're like, all right, we're here?
That's a good point. That's a good question. I'll be honest. I feel like I have done it. I feel like I have done it.
Come on now.
But that's the easy part. That's the easy part when you're really locked in. You guys are on that. You both are entrepreneurial. You have that mindset. But once you get there, what happens next?
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, hit that one time. Come on now.
Just for a little bit.
Just for a little bit, okay?
Right, and then how do you keep it sustainable? And people change, life changes, your situation changes, finances. So I think that's where I'm at, is how do I take this to the next level, the next chapter? I never want to be seen as the guy who made it, but then he fell off.
We all know those stories too.
Right, exactly. I've always thought of myself as a guy who retired, who made some money and was a philanthropist. I would put my name on a building. I gave back and created scholarships. I helped other people start businesses. I didn't want to just be the guy who started a company at 15, made it to his 30s, and then he went out of business. So I think that's where we're at today, where it is very challenging. We are making the product internationally, so we're facing tariffs in today's country.
Talk about it.
So this would cause, I wouldn't give away too many numbers.
The cozy mood, shea butter and warm sugar is where it's at. Or maybe you're more in a champagne spritz and roses type mood. Whatever the mood, set it with one of these Febreze Air Mist fragrances today.
7% increase in our price, not too bad, but a few cents. That's created challenges with our profit margins, slim that down. Right now we're going through a really big deal. I want to announce it, but we're going through a big transition. That's all I'm gonna say. More products, possibly new ownership. So we're doing some good things, but it's all about the life cycle of the business. I want to see this grow another 10 years. And one last thing I'll say is we did a rebrand about 2 years ago. We even dropped applesauce from our main name because it's just Holmes mouthwatering. We have applesauce here, but in the future we may have Holmes mouthwatering granola bars. Holmes mouthwatering.
Come on now.
So, so that's kind of the future for Holmes. Just taking it to the next level.
Okay.
Come on now.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Now, Ethan, I know you also mentioned at one point that you were in these boardrooms, that you were with investors, that you also mentioned even sponsorships. So, for someone that's looking for those type of opportunities, what would be your advice? Because listen, you for sure be getting this Christmas list together. Is that part of the
That
process?
is actually part of the research. I think just no matter if you want to get in a store, you got to first research what stores are ideal for me, my target retailers. But in this case, I would actually go online. I recommend this to everybody and Google accelerators, small business programs for food, for applesauce, whatever. And I found specific programs that were tailored toward minorities or food products. Meaning I wasn't just going into a business program for Chase Bank that had all these companies. I was going into a program for Coca-Cola. And so Coca-Cola in Atlanta, Georgia, they gave us $20,000, flew us to Atlanta, two different occasions, allowed me to work at their campus. And that was a program just for food and beverage. Chobani Yogurt did the same thing. They gave us $30,000, and again, these are all just me finding them on Google, reaching out. 2 times they said no. The 3rd time they said, "Hey, who's that black kid from Cleveland? I like he's making applesauce. Let's give him a shot." And so that's my advice for y'all. Look for things. If you make apparel, look at Nike. They have their own accelerator. Look at other apparel companies. They're looking for us, And
Come on now.
That's how you do it.
Podcast already. I'm looking for that tonight.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be looking.
Yeah, there's a lot of podcast accelerators just for y'all, just for money, just for that, and instead of just going to somewhere blanketed where they don't, they may not even care specifically.
So we go specifically where your niche is or your industry is.
There you go, and that's always, and I'll even say that's how we raised our first $500,000. So half of what we raised was me pitching to a food and beverage program. Shout out to Gary Hirschberg. It's called the Hirschberg Entrepreneur Institute. And I found it through an email around COVID to always tell everybody this story, knew nothing of it. Said, hey, pitch virtually to food and beverage investors. They then said, all right, it's $75. It's $75. Send your applesauce to these 12 names. I sent the applesauce out to these investors, went on the Zoom call, pitched. I was the only black person there. And then Gary, who founded a company called Stonyfield Yogurt, sold
Come on now, shout out to Stonyfield.
Right. So he's like, who wants to invest in Ethan? He just pitched. We've all got his applesauce in the mail. I will invest in him. And I tell you, when he raised his hand, everybody was like, well, Gary's going to invest in him.
Wow.
And so, and I'll even show you guys a video clip. He went to B-roll. But from there, that allowed me to get a few people on board. And I never really raised any serious amount of money, So that changed the course of my business. It took me outside of Cleveland. So that's it. That's my lesson for y'all.
So let me ask you that. With that being said, help us or not help us. Describe to us what you feel like a pitch needs. Because my idea of pitch is like, hey, you should invest in me. Wrong.
Right. A little bit more. Right.
Right.
It's part of it.
Talk to us about, because like a lot of people, because we heard different ways people pitch. Some people say, pitch your story, not be. What some people say, be specific. What is your idea of pitching to?
There's no one way. I think mine is more focused on story, but there's always a theme across every pitch, and it's what is the problem and how you're coming up with a solution for that through your product or your service. So some people start their pitches like they ask a question to the crowd. How many of you have issues cleaning your room every week? And then people raise their hands, so they've created that interest, and now I've created a service or a solution for that, and this is how we do it. So I think that's one way, but for me, it's usually relatability. I'm talking about how many of y'all have ever made food with your grandparent? How many of y'all made food with your mother? Everybody, they all have done that, and then all of a sudden it leads to, well, I did that, and I created a brand from it. And this is, shout out to my grandfather, this is about legacy. So, but to sum it up, it's all about who, what, why, and how. There you go. That's it. So
Come on now.
Yep.
Now, brother, you have gone from now you're advising people. Let's talk about you being an advisor for the National Urban League.
Shout out to the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.
Come
and,
on now.
Been there going on 3 years. It's been, their family there. I like to work with my own people, of course. And my official title is Entrepreneur in Residence. So,
my apologies.
No, you're good. Business advisor too, but I'm blessed to be able to work with other entrepreneurs in Cleveland, specifically in retail. But I'm learning from them. They're learning from me, and that's what I really love. I mean, I've met so many colleagues, friends, family. I call them family. So, if anybody ever wants any business advising, can give you my email, my contact, all free. Great resources. We have a Black restaurant program. Everybody gets $10,000 grant for that. We just had 10 companies complete that, and we have a women in retail program, construction program, and several others.
Oh,
Man, this is
wow.
why I
So
love the
many
Urban League,
resources.
because there's so many programs that Urban League has that people don't even know
Don't
about
even know,
that
right
now you're
at
taking
your
advantage of.
fingertips.
Correct, definitely. And we house a small business development center there. So there's just so many resources, the Minority Business Assistance Center and the Small Business Development Center. So if you want your minority certification, your women-owned certification, all that, we'll do for free. So it's great.
Did that a couple times. So let me ask you this, man. What keeps you motivated? Because it seems, not seems, but you accomplish more than most people have done in their lifetime.
Yeah.
I don't say that.
Well, I'm gonna say it if not
Depends
you.
on how you look at it. Maybe my business, but yeah.
I love how humble you are.
Yeah, he definitely
That's
is.
all you look at it.
But with that being said, what keeps you motivated? Because some people can reach a certain point and be like, "Well, I've done everything I need to do." What keeps you going?
I think the fact that I said I was going to do it, I think that's a big thing. This is something I sought out to do. If I don't do it, then I see myself almost as a failure. And people have told me, well, sometimes you get from one thing to go to another thing. But for me, I'm all in, And I remember meeting with Damon John, from Shark Tank.
Come on
Shout
now.
out to Damon John, founder of FUBU. We had dinner in Texas. Shout out to Alexandra Boone. She set that up. She's a Clevelander. And when we had dinner, I remember he asked me, he said, "Hey, Ethan, do you do applesauce? Do you do other stuff?" I said, "Just applesauce." He said, "Good. I want you to obsess over this. This should be all you do. You need to be making millions of dollars on this before you look at anything else." And I took that advice because it's very true. Too many times you got a lot of entrepreneurs that got 12 different hustles and they're not even making money from one of them. So that's where I'm about. It's just this motivates me, and most importantly, my children. Legacy.
Come on, man.
And being able to show them that they can own something and have something as well for themselves.
That's good.
Appreciate
That's
it.
good.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I love that. Because 12 podcast is it.
You can do it. It's a
For
huge
sure.
market.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Now, are there other? Now, I think you also did you say mentorship as well? Is also
Yeah, so mentorships are the last thing we do is our Young Entrepreneur Institute program. It's called the Holmes Entrepreneur Initiative, and we actually partner with the Young Entrepreneur Institute here in Cleveland. But we go into schools, now it's the school season. We go into about, I'd say 4 or 5 schools a month, and we're teaching students how to start a business. We're feeding the students. It's all free for the schools, the teachers. It's usually about an hour, and we're teaching them what is branding, what is marketing, how do you sell a product, things like that. So something we're proud of. We've done it as young as kindergarten, which is really, really entertaining, and then also college as well. So I think that's a big part, is where I call ourselves a social enterprise, and we're trying to teach the next generation how to be entrepreneurs.
That's good.
that is
Appreciate it. Thank
amazing.
you.
And by the way, it's not that your product not only looks good, it tastes good.
Thank you.
We got the honor of being able to try it at the Pink and Black Honors this
Yep,
summer.
there you
And let me tell you, delicious.
Thank you
okay.
so much. Appreciate it.
yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. No, thank you.
Of course. And we have our original. We also have an apple pie, and then we have a strawberry peach. That one sells out pretty quickly, but you all can find it at Heinen's, Giant Eagle. We're at Walmart, all throughout Ohio, Amazon. So anywhere you shop at.
Now I know you probably can't dip too much into it, but what else would you like to do business venture wise? Do you have your eye on something in particular?
I really want to help entrepreneurs. I think I'm an entrepreneur. I've done that my whole life, and I think just being able to create tools or resources to make it easier. I believe in a philosophy: work smarter, not harder. And so there's a lot of gray areas or white space for entrepreneurs. Even looking at our ecosystem in Northeast Ohio, I won't say too much, but there's a lot of gaps. And a lot of people are getting neglected. They're not getting resources. The industry is tightened up a bit, especially under the administration. So I just want to help out as many people as we can. They shouldn't have to be charged an arm and a leg for it. So I think that's it. And we have a lot of wealthy people, especially our people. How do we come together to create more ownership? And shout out to Jay-Z and Beyonce, but I mean, come on, y'all, we could do a lot. We could do some stuff, and that's my motivation.
That's
No,
good.
that's a great thing.
So let me ask you this: you have been in entrepreneurship for 10 plus years. What would you say the difference between entrepreneurship back then versus now that you've seen?
I just had an argument with my spouse about this, but I would say it's easier now. It's a whole lot easier for entrepreneurs. So I kind of I sound like an old timer, but like well, back in my day, so we had to do a lot. I had to call people, and now these kids, you can just go and make a Shopify website and launch a TikTok, and they're making more than me per month. Honestly, some of these kids selling clothing and things like that. So I think it's the barriers of entry, as we call it. They're smaller, they're lower. It's easier to start a business, but it is more saturated. It's also this. Everybody is promoting on social media. Everybody is doing content. So how do you cut through? Also, they're tightening up on those programs. There used to be a lot more funding. Now is less. So I think that's the way it's changed quite a bit. But if you want to start a business, you have Etsy, you have Shopify, you have TikTok. You can do it. You can make $100,000 without getting a bank loan, without having to do everything I did.
Wow.
Let that be motivation for somebody, because they're probably watching like, I got a product.
Just started. Don't think about it too much.
So, I'm sorry, madam.
No, I was gonna say we might have our staple question. You had another question under your.
Oh no. I mean, listen. We sit with a lot of entrepreneurs, right?
We do.
And we talk to them, and a lot of people. And no offense to them, it's their side hustle. You have made this. You've done this for 10+ years. I don't know too many entrepreneurs who've been doing it for that amount of time.
Thank you.
One, longevity and consistency. Come on, now, that's what you get a hand clap just for that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
My question to you is, with that being said, you the man, Ethan, right? How do you sustain? Not saying the weight, because I'm not saying entrepreneurship is weight, but as an entrepreneur, I understand. How do you maintain the weight of the entrepreneurship, fatherhood, being a husband, obviously you have a family, so being in a family, how do you maintain with it all?
That's a great question. I'd say self-care. You got to take those times to spend time with the kids. You got to take those times to, kind of say, let me, fix myself a little bit. Let me move that stress. I'd say, again, my kids, they are my compass. They kind of keep me motivated. I feel like I'm doing my purpose by helping them, by providing. I feel like as parents, we both feel that way, or all feel that way. And again, this is something I sought out to do. So I feel like that keeps me motivated. I feel like I have no choice. This is what I'm doing. You get what I mean?
It's all or nothing.
It's all or nothing. That's how it has to work. That's it. And a lot of people have told me to quit. I had an investor once. I sat down with him in Solon. He showed me this fancy office. I was really impressed. And he's like, Ethan, I like what you're doing. I like the way you think. Your business is struggling at this time. How about you shut it down? I'll help you with those costs. And then I want you to work for me. And I'll have you, I want to start a new venture, and I want you to lead that project. I'll give you a salary, but you got to quit your business. You can't do both. And I said, well, thank you very much, sir. And I walked out of there. A few months later, somebody approached me and gave me some funding. I was able to quit my job at Spectrum, selling, TV and internet door to door. But again, you got to do what you got to do. And sometimes people will try to talk you out of your dreams. I've had partners who've done that. So, just got to stay motivated.
So, Ethan, what would you say has been the hardest part of the business overall? What would you say has been the most challenging?
Most challenging? Cash is the issue, and every entrepreneur feels that way, having enough cash. But I'd say that's a good question. My life is problem solving. So I would say it's just it. It's just all.
The challenge of the problem.
Everything is a problem.
Life is problem solving.
Life is problem solving. It could be money. It could be timelines. It could be we were missing fulfillment, trying to get product to a store. So, Kroger, we just had an issue there where, I don't even want to say too much. Maybe we'll edit this out. But we didn't meet their deadline. So they're like, we had to replace you with another applesauce brand because it took so long to get the applesauce from Chile. That happens sometimes. So if you don't meet that deadline, you got to wait till next year, So that's it. So just those challenges, and then you just figure out, okay, well, this happened. What do we do next? Or,
Okay, so you figure out a way that it won't happen again.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah, an action plan.
Listen, I tell my kids all the time, the less that hurt, the ones that hurt the most, the ones you remember.
You remember forever.
Preach.
And you make the adjustments.
You make those adjustments. There you go.
So imagine this. With that being said, because there are major corporations that have applesauce. We are now naming them. Get those applesauces.
Right, those are our ops.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
facts.
right, Ethan.
We'll
Yeah.
like them, yo.
How do you feel like you have the edge over them versus
Yeah, great. That's what this big deal we're doing. It was really focusing on that. But our biggest differentiator of the applesauce is we're the only applesauce pouch in the market that has chunks of real fruit. So while other pouches are like baby food, you're just like you're drinking apple juice. This actually has chunks in it, and it wasn't easy to do to be able to put chunks in a pouch.
Yeah.
A spouted pouch, So we're really leaning into home style. Take the home style home with Holmes. And so that's our biggest difference.
That's a bar. That's a big like this tagline.
Right, there you go. So, apple cider, pears, strawberry peach. Maybe we'll do a pumpkin spice flavor. So we're really leaning into home style, the way grandma and mom used to make it. So,
Okay.
thank you.
All right.
That's dope.
So we can look forward to some new
Definitely.
flavors.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then I'll say one last thing. We wanted to be kind of neutral. We're reaching both children and adults. So we have a lot of 20, 30-year-olds that buy this as a snack. Applesauce is typically just for kids.
Yeah.
About over 90% of the purchasing in the U.S. is for children. So we're trying to be able to reach both kids and adults and almost create a whole new category for applesauce. And that's been done with ice cream. It's been done with yogurt. You think about all Jenny's, Halo Top ice cream, all these. So we're doing that with applesauce. So that's it.
I'm gonna ask you I'm 30. I'm not gonna say how old I am, but I'm about to say because most people don't know what the key demographic is. You said you know who they are.
Right, exactly. We've done the research, we've seen. So, yeah, we have mainly parents. Shout out to the parents. Our people, we really go after, showing diverse images, showing diverse people in our marketing. So, we have a lot of black consumers, but as well as young people as well. So,
Come on now.
So, thank you. Appreciate it.
So you talk about the past, talk about the present, talk about the future, brother.
Okay.
What can we see for the future for you and for all your endeavors?
Right now, just taking it to the next level based on whatever God has planned for me, and doing the best for myself, for the community, for my family. We're going to continue making a splash with the applesauce. Really kind of going to the fruits of my labor, no pun intended.
I like that. Tight episode.
Right, there you go. Right, fruits of my labor. I love that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just continue to give back and just continue doing what I said I was going to do. So,
All right.
That's
And
good.
that you will.
excellent. Thank you.
That's good. So listen, guys, we're gonna go to our simple questions, and I love these questions. And we have a pro, by the way. We got the man, the myth, the legend. With that being said, now I like this question because you are a Cleveland native, and I'm actually excited to ask you this question because you have a different perspective from everyone else because you've been in the game a little longer than everyone else. But unfortunately, Cleveland has a stigma of not being a collaborative place. How do you feel like we can change that stigma going forward?
That's a great point. I think matchmaking would be great. So as I think about matchmaking, I remember I went to an event with Jumpstart years ago. Shout out to Jumpstart, great accelerator program for entrepreneurs. But they actually matched you with different companies. So I think if we could create more collaboration there, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, we all need each other. There really is a way to create a mutually beneficial kind of ecosystem. But a lot of us, we don't talk. We're in competition with each other. We think, well, they do a similar product, so we can't talk. We can't work together, but I think there's a lot of opportunity there. And let's say you use a manufacturer to make wine, for example. You could go, let's say you make wine. You say, how about I go to that company and say, how about we put our orders together? Now we're able to get better pricing.
That's good.
You know
Come
what I'm
on,
saying?
man.
We all put our money in. So I think it's just don't be scared to talk to somebody. I've had applesauce companies reach out to me. I've reached out to applesauce companies because if they're bigger than me, I want to learn how I can get to where you are. You know what I mean? So that'd be my advice.
That's good. Okay, with that being said, I need you guys to look at on close up on the flyer or whatnot. My man's done collaboration
He's
through and through.
everywhere.
He's everywhere.
He's
Still
everywhere.
growing. We're not enough places, but we're doing
Come on now, I like that.
But you will be.
hopefully. Yeah, thank you.
So that being said, who would you like to collaborate in the future? Who can you hope to if you collaborate in the future with?
That's a good point. Good question. Collaborate in the future. I don't know if there's a specific person. I would love to collaborate with some top athletes. As
Come on now.
this next year we're looking at NIL.
Sanders.
Right, Shandor Sanders. That's what we,
Sanders.
man. But so we have done a little bit of work with the Cavaliers. Matthew Dellavedova years ago as a
Come on,
point
man.
guard. And then this past year, we actually were the official applesauce of the Rocket Mortgage.
Come on now.
So, thank you. So they put our billboards there. We sold the applesauce at the stadium during the Cavs games. But I love to work with an athlete. I want to be able
LeBron.
Right there,
LeBron
LeBron. There you
Curry,
go.
that was
Steph
a good
Curry
one.
actually has a
Yeah.
program called Eat, Learn, Play,
That
and all
was
they
gonna
do is
say.
feed and help
Local
children.
X.
So I think that's I would love to take
That's
it there.
dope.
All right.
Come on
I'm
now,
telling you,
Guardians.
he got that Christmas list
Right
already.
there,
together.
Let's start working on it.
Listen, I'm doing it now. I'm like,
I'm about to do
Start
it. Shit, I
sending
should have been
emails.
did it.
Right, should have been doing
Apparently.
it. Right, there you go.
Well, listen, I mean, obviously, this is a no-brainer that your legacy is going to be phenomenal.
Thank you.
Because, I mean, you have inspired me just from hearing your story. The fact that you didn't accept no from anybody, whether they didn't call you back or whether they actually told you no and you still did it again until they said yes, like, it just shows that
tenacity, man.
Yeah, that tenacity, that perseverance. You know, you're definitely an overcomer when it comes to this
Shout
game.
out to Mom. You know, she told me no too many times, and I think it kind of instilled that
There you go.
rebel
They're
note
welcome
that-
kids.
Right. So I hear that quite a bit. Why are you an entrepreneur? How did you become an entrepreneur? Because my mother, she said go left so many times that I went right, and I think I love her to death. But I think that that's just who I am.
I
I'm a
paired
rebel,
you.
So there you go.
Okay.
That's good.
We'll definitely shout out to Mom
Shout out to
then.
Mom, right?
So legacy, when we speak of that for you, Ethan, of course, 2-part question. What does legacy look like for you, Ethan Holmes? But what does legacy look like for Holmes Mouthwatering and everything that you have and soon to come?
Yeah, great question. I'd say legacy for me again is my children. Shout out to
Yeah.
Oliver and Isla, 5 and 2 years old, and being able to just teach them, maybe pass on the torch. If they want to start their own company, they don't have to. But and then number 2, I'd say is just allowing the company to live on. We want to be able to create jobs. We want to be able to create other opportunities. We have partners that have ownership. I want to make them rich. I want to make other people rich. I think what good is success and money if you can't share with others? You feel me? So if I was, let's say I did real well and I left this podcast and I saw what you guys are doing, why can't I throw you guys bread without you having to go to a traditional bank and deal with all those high interest rates? So I think that's the goal, is where I could just give out money, be a philanthropist, allow people to get to the next level so then they can help out somebody else. You feel me? Or they didn't have to go and deal with that bank loan. They got a grant, so now they saved a little money. They were able to create some jobs. People did that for me, so why can't I do the same? So
come on,
I think that's my legacy for sure.
A phenomenal legacy.
Wow.
Thank you.
And I see you being a great philanthropist, by the way, because I mean, I can just tell your heart is always giving, just from your
the
story.
heart is there. Got to get the money first, but
Oh,
yeah,
for
so
sure,
it's easy
for
to
sure.
cut a check, but
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
And then, of course, I know it's not only myself or Brandon, but I know that someone that has been watching, someone that's been listening, has also been inspired,
Been dropping gems,
encouraged,
brother.
motivated in some shape, way, or form by your story. So when we have to tie it all together, Ethan, narrowing it down to 3, what would be 3 takeaways that you would like someone to gather from tonight?
Okay. And I think I already said 1, closed mouths do not get fed.
Come on.
So
That's a
we
good one.
talked about that, speaking up. Number 2, I'd say you have to really believe in yourself. No, you have to be your number 1 fan. Don't lean on a business partner. Don't lean on a spouse. Don't lean on the public. Lean on yourself. There's going to be times where nobody cares what you're doing. Sales aren't working out, but you have to be able to find those seeds to be able to plant it, if that makes sense, for the next stage. And then lastly, I'd say, I'm trying to think of what advice would I say? Said so many gems.
You really have,
You
brother.
really did. One of them was definitely to keep going.
That's a good question. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying not to say something I've already said, but maybe you guys can help me out. Is anything that I said that?
I will say this one thing that, like you said, keep going and push forward.
Keep going and push forward. There you
'cause
go.
You motivated me to not accept no's
Oh, yeah.
and to not get discouraged. And sometimes we do those one-offs. Like I just feel like I just did something when I put in for a grant, my first grant. Did I get it? No. And have I put any more in since then? No. So you just inspired me where it's like, okay, the list continues.
Exactly.
You know what I
Have to.
mean? Or like, Lauren London said, the marathon continues. So
There you go.
you got to keep going.
There you
Like
go.
it doesn't stop at one.
And if plan A doesn't work, plan B. There you go. And
That's right.
I think that actually, what I thought of is go big or go home.
Come on now.
So that's my last one. So, we also sponsored
That's good.
the Guardians 2 years ago. Again, I reach out to these people. I say, this is what we want to do. A lot of times we get a discount. So what I say is just literally reach out. You never know.
Yeah.
Talked about Matthew Dellavedova from the Cavs. He was a rookie. He only charged me like $2,000, maybe less, to come out and do a meet and greet. He gave applesauce to LeBron at that time. So just reach out to people. That's it. Don't be scared and go big. Like, I don't think, I'm just going to be in a couple stores. No, I reached out to Walmart, and now we're in 120 Walmarts. And we're not supposed to be in Walmart. We're too small. They gave us a shot though, so that's my advice for y'all. So
Come on now.
appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm coming in like the Kool-Aid man.
Right, right.
Thanks to,
Coming through the walls, huh?
Thanks
Right.
to my man Ethan. I'm like, boom,
Boom, right.
we in here.
We in there. That's how you gotta do it. So appreciate you both. Thank you for the opportunity.
No, thank you.
Thank you,
What a
brother.
way to end the night. This was a great interview.
So most important question of the whole interview: where can people learn more about you? Where can they reach out to you? Where can they get? Well, obviously they
Get married with.
Yeah, where can learn more about you, man?
Yeah, exactly. You can visit holmesmouthwatering.com or holmesapplesauce.com, whatever is easiest for you. You can find us at holmesmouthwatering on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you're at. And then if you want to reach out to me, it's Ethan, ETHAN, at holmesapplesauce.com. Be happy to meet with you, help you out, whatever you need. I'm an open book.
Come on now,
So
y'all.
appreciate it.
Phenomenal interview, guys.
Awesome.
Those
Appreciate it.
links
Thank
will
you
be.
So many
both.
gems. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. You guys are great interviewers. Great
Come on,
opportunity.
come
I'm very impressed. So thank you.
So, guys, the links will be right there. So, do me a favor, go out, get your applesauce. Okay.
It's really good. It's on Amazon. You guys can get it.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, man.
Man,
excuse.
you can live
That's
your
why I say
house.
be everywhere. That's why
Right. Get delivered. So thank you.
No, thank you, man. God, this is episode 297. Come on now. And the interviews keep getting gooder and gooder. You know, Brittany already knows. She
I
knows.
already know how you be, y'all. Y'all know how you be.
No, we're roll 300, guys. So listen, we're not selling anytime soon.
Nope.
So y'all tune in for next week, okay? Peace, y'all.